The clock had just struck midnight. Time instantly came to a complete stop. Everyone immediately fell into a deep sleep. The entire city came to a standstill. Deep beneath the ground, hundreds of meters down, countless men in black gathered silently. Their faces were completely expressionless. They marched through the streets like machines. They began injecting new memories into the residents, and rearranged everyone's physical location. A couple who were once poor became billionaires after their memories were altered. As the memories changed, the city's structures began to shift as well. Some skyscrapers quietly rose into the sky. Others vanished without a sound. Once all the adjustments were complete, the bell finally rang again. The citizens woke up at the same time, as if nothing had ever happened. But many people's identities had been completely transformed. The couple who used to be poor now talked about how to exploit the masses. A man who used to run a hotel was now a newspaper vendor on the street. He claimed he had been selling papers for 20 years. But John had witnessed everything with his own eyes. During the time freeze, he was the only one still awake. He saw everything the men in black were doing. He was so terrified he couldn't speak. He tried to escape the city by subway, but passengers told him that the subway had no destination and no starting point. No one had ever left this city. This plunged John into utter despair. Suddenly he remembered Shell Beach from his childhood. Strangely, everyone knew about the place, but when he asked how to get there, no one could explain the way. Soon after, the midnight bell rang once again. The men in black became aware of John's existence. They tried to capture him by scanning his memory. During the escape, John managed to capture one of the men in black. He forced him to reveal what was really going on. To his shock, the man revealed a mind-blowing secret. It turns out they controlled this world. But John's sudden mutation interrupted them. So they had to capture John, but when they unleashed their powers, they found they had no effect on John. And John could even move objects with his mind. This terrified them. Because such power belonged only to the men in black, John, realizing the truth, used his power to escape. Meanwhile, Amy went to the police station to report. She was John's wife. Her husband had been missing for 3 months and showed no sign of returning. The police had no choice but to tell her the truth. Just a few days ago, several murders had taken place in the city, and all the evidence pointed to her husband John. Only now did Amy realize her husband was a monster. Then the police went with her to search for John. When questioned by the police, John denied everything. In the hallway, he recalled what had happened before. That day he had received a mysterious call. The caller claimed to be a doctor, and nervously told John his experiment had failed and he must run immediately. John looked around at everything, and hurriedly dressed to flee the scene. He ran into the street. At one point he even tried to confirm if he had harmed anyone, by approaching a young woman, but he realized he had no desire to hurt her, so he left quietly. Recalling it all, John gradually began to understand the truth. He remembered the postcard in the suitcase. It read Shell Beach, so he immediately returned home with that clue. When John stepped out of the villa, a man suddenly appeared behind him. The man urged him not to alert others, but John pressed him harshly, even grabbing the doctor's collar and demanding answers. Suddenly John shouted loudly, and the doctor was flung dozens of meters away. The doctor, lying on the ground, said excitedly,